All right, fellow Rudite individuals. Um, so you read the title right, and this is I suppose, a sort of sequel to my other video, what true love feels like. This is what true heartbreak feels like, and of course, I'm not extolling all the virtues of my current girlfriend, meaning that I don't have one, meaning that that true love that I spoke of obviously is not around anymore. Um, So I kind of wanted to share what it felt like for me. Um, Maybe other people that are watching this, what it feels like to lose her. People can relate, and they know they're not alone. Um, so essentially, what real heartbreak feels like, and I make that important distinction because a lot of people, as I've commented before in a previous video, a lot of people kind of base their relationships off of superficial or artificial stuff. So, like, if your relationship was all, based on physical touch, like you guys just hugged a lot, or like I said with the 500 Days of Summer example, you just like the same music, which is like 80% of the population likes the same music anyways. Or, it wasn't, like a really deep, like it didn't really go more than surface level relationship. Like you can't really, if someone were to ask you what you really loved about them, you wouldn't really be able to give a eloquent answer on it. That's not true heartbreak. It's gonna hurt, yeah, but it's not gonna make you feel that pit of your stomach. It's so hard to explain. Saying pit of your stomach doesn't even begin to describe it. The best way that I can describe it is, well, the way that it worked for me, at least, that true love feeling was sort of, I saw her as my soulmate. I just saw, and I was around 16, so I was a bit young, maybe a bit foolish, but still, like, you just see that she had we had those experiences where, our relationship was so much deeper. We never had anything physical, but I think that's a testament on how strong it was that we didn't have anything physical, and yet, like, if you looked at our relationship, it would look stronger. It would be a lot stronger than anyone you could compare it to with or without physical touch. Like we were just like that. Like literally, people started asking us if we were siblings just because of how much time we spent together. And before you think I'm like Tom myself from 500 Days of Summer, like I'm imagining stuff. You know, she asked me for my number. She complimented me a lot. She drew like pictures of me. I'm not like imagining stuff here. You know, she said that I was like the most extraordinary person she ever met. So I'm not imagining it, and that's not to say that I didn't reciprocate. Of course, I felt the exact same way. And I made sure to tell her, but um, and I'm actually gonna make a sequel to this sequel, I guess. But point being, long story short, we stopped talking. Not because I wanted to, obviously. And there's a few aspects to the heartbreak that just feel terrible. One, for me, like I said, I saw her as my soulmate. I wanted to live the rest of my life with her, and you kind of feel like empty. Like there's a difference between like depression and like just feeling empty. Like I saw that person as the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, and they're gone now. And in that moment, you just can't imagine having that with anyone else. And then suicide becomes a big thing because you're, well, I just lost the person that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. What My life's going to be lonely now. And so that option really becomes a big, prevalent, glaring thing in your mind because it's just there and it just seems like the best way to go out. So that's one aspect, that emptiness of it, that heartbreak. And I would say another one is that the more you think about it, the more heartbreaks that occurs because you thought that they were so special to you, and not only that they seemed perfect for you, but you thought you were perfect to them. I thought I was perfect for her, and the fact that she could just like stop talking to me so suddenly, it just made me feel like I must have been, either I was delusional to myself the whole time, and I don't think I was. But you always get that sinking feeling, right? Like that maybe they never really actually liked me, you know? Maybe all that stuff they said was like fake or like a lie. Or you start to think heavily down on yourself. You think that we were perfect together, and then all of a sudden something happened. It surely must be my fault. Everything is my fault. You start overthinking. You become a overanalyzer. You think back on every conversation and every interaction you ever had with them, and you try to find, what went wrong. What did I say wrong here? More than just the usual overthinking where people are like, oh, yeah. I'm really trying to find, you replay every day in your head, every day from the day that you met to when it started going wrong. You play every day, and you're going through it, and you're like, what did I say? What did I do? What Every conversation is coming through your head, and you're just analyzing every word. Like, was it this? Was it that? Did I say this? And it really it really paralyzes you with fear. And at the end of the day, you just end up becoming a lot of self hatred because you feel, surely I must have done something to mess this up, and I must be a terrible person for that to have happened. So that's in essence what real heartbreak feels like, I think. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you've experienced what I'm talking about, then you're gonna know. You're gonna be able to relate. If you haven't and you're thinking I'm crazy, then be grateful that you haven't experienced that yet. Um, but I suppose it's like that quote from Good Will Hunting. It's you can only experience loss when you dare to love someone more than you love yourself. And I mean, I loved her more than I loved myself. It's like she just made me feel not alone. Um, for those of you who haven't watched more of my channel, I made a video about, kind of like what I feel about like NPCs and other people in the world. And she was the first girl, and still the only girl that I've ever met that didn't feel like that. Like, I felt like she was a real person. Like, I could talk to her, and she was there, and she was real, and she was like tangible. And when you get that taken away from you, in my shoes, you don't want to do anything anymore. You just you fall into this hole of self-hatred, and yeah, it's kind of deep. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Just wanted to make that. But it gets a good turn, and you're going to see that in my next video. Pop.